have people taking penitentiary chances for $5 of crack rock, right? So
let's just say somebody's actually doing this. They send they respond back. How long does this process usually take somebody to get that wave and that money?
yeah. Okay, well, so typically speaking, it's the window. So let's talk about different scenarios, right? So you could take the debt collector to federal court, and as soon as they get the lawsuit, they reach out and say, hey, listen, we're sorry, right? And what do you want? And, automatically just give you the money, right? And so that's one scenario. So the other scenario could be you sue the debt collector in federal court and they want to fight a little bit, right? So that's typical. Expect 3 to 6 months of litigation.
Okay. I forgot, we just ran past the part of like debt getting waived.
Yeah.
How much have you seen somebody not pay no more?
Hold on. All right, so we're gonna have to make sure we want to talk about the average, and then let's talk about making a wish foundation type money, because I want to hear some crazy numbers.
All right, so say for an example, so the settlement, we're going to talk about the average, right? We're talking about the average. So typically, it can be $100 to $1,000 average, right? So we're just going to make a wish, foundation, money, settlement, things of that nature. Let's just say $5,000, right? And so yeah, that's the typical window that the consumer could be looking at
for one collection, right? So they have 5, it's like 25,000.
Yeah. So yeah,
if they get violated, if they get violated.
Yeah. So typically, that's pretty veteran numbers, right? So somebody starting out, they're not going to hit it right on the target. But yeah, so that's typically what I do is when I obtain a credit report and the consumer wants to, engage in litigation. I sue everybody on the credit report.
Man, hold on. Okay. So now let's go back to Make a Wish Foundation, because, we in the credit repair space too. I be seeing people with collections upwards like 20 racks because of a credit card or something. So Is it safe to assume that if they get that debt waived, like, could we add that into the money? Because it's like, hey, bro, you got $20K on a credit card. You try to be an entrepreneur and then it didn't work.
Yeah.
Can this be applied to that if the debt is sold to a collection agency?
Yes, sir. 100%. So I like to tell people, man, you come to me, you didn't did this Navy Federal play, this Navy Federal hack, right? And, I didn't have any involvement in that. I didn't get any pleasure in that, right? So I'm going to do the best that I can to help you clean up the mess.
Yeah,
man. So them boys be like, hey, man, look, I'm going to show you how to get this, and then we going to take that money, put it in a Toro, Airbnb, or whatever. I'm like, bro, you like the safe haven for them people, to be honest for you, because people be messed up. And I'm like, yo, who did you listen to? Man, it was this podcast I listened to. This guy did this thing, and now I'm like 100,000 in debt. So if it's all in collections, can they come to you and find out where they've been violated and possibly get that fresh start a lot sooner?
Yeah. So like I say, I thank you guys for reaching out, and inviting me onto your channel, because what can the consumer do? Gather the evidence. So say for an example, right? I mean, contacting me is great. Like, do that, right? But you gotta screenshot the text messages. I don't have access to your phone, right? So if the debt collector is calling you, you gotta record the call. So gathering the evidence is super crucial for me helping you.
So that's you can assume that's some of the challenges that these people face gathering the evidence, because they kind of scared.
Yeah, you're 100% right on that.
Hey, bro, when I owe somebody some money, bro, I ain't trying to pick up the phone most times. But okay.
But we've been. Also, Vance, have we been trained to be scared of the phone, scared to check the mail,
Yeah.
and scared to answer the door back in the day when they used to come knock?
Oh yeah. So that's part of the culture, right? So dipping your head in the sand like an ostrich, right? So that won't get you far. That won't get you nowhere. But yeah. So we are embedded by culture to not have the power to deal with the oppressor, right? And so being on you guys' channel is eye-opening for a lot of consumers, because a lot of the times, right, I'm not articulate. You don't have to be. So let's go back to what the FDCPA was written for, the least sophisticated consumer. So a lot of the times, if the debt collector is not texting you, if the debt collector is not writing you a letter, if the debt collector is not sending you an email, you can call the debt collector up, recording the call, right? You don't have to tell them that you're recording the call. You can call up the debt collector, and then you can just tell them your issue with the information, right? So say, for example, right, we're just going to say a hospital bill. So typically the date open or the last date of activity is usually wrong. So the consumer can just call up the debt collector, right? And I want to keep putting emphasis on this, recording the call, right? And then you got your credit report. And then you can just say, hey, I don't recall going to the hospital on this date, right? And so that's a dispute. So the debt collector is not going to mark the information disputed, and that's something that we're going to pursue the debt collector for.
Okay, all right. So I ain't never heard that perspective from anybody. So it's safe to assume this is something that you studied, or how did you come across that, like interpreting the law that way?
Well, like I say, the law is written up for the least sophisticated consumer. So I like to keep it real simple for anybody to understand. I ask people. So we're just going to use Michael Jordan for an example. So Dave, I say, hey, do you know Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
How effective of a player would Michael Jordan be if he didn't understand the basic rules to basketball?
Not really.
Ineffective. You gotta say, right? So that's the consumer, because the consumer doesn't know the basic rules to basketball. And so when you don't know the basic rules to whatever that you're doing, you're going to fail. And so that goes back to the beginning of the interview when I said that if the American education system don't teach us, we're doomed to fail.
Man, that's crazy, because I can see that scenario in a bunch of different things. It's like, even when we're being taught in school, they're teaching us from a book that's not the same book of law, but we living in a land full of laws. So one word you can perceive like 3 different ways.
Yeah.
So then it comes to, because I guess I'm going to be a little messy here. There are people that are telling you what these laws mean, but then when you get in a situation, they can't help. And that's why I was going to ask you, can you help the people? Like, do you have an escort program? Because I hate being told that, I ain't going to say these exact words. I hate being told that, hey, bro, you need to study more. Yeah. I'm like, bro, what? They're like, hold on, you told me what to do. What I need to study more for? So
yeah, I've never in my 19 years of helping consumers, I never told a consumer to study, right? Because the consumer ultimately doesn't know. And so that's where I come in and offer the service to push the consumer along to get compensated based off of my experience. So yeah, I never tell people to go study themselves, because, you know, that's just walking in circles, right? And so that's the consumer is going to be left confused walking in circles. So that's not something that I advocate, you know. So I do offer services to help the consumer go by.
So, all right, hold on. Dave, you got another question, or because I want to kind of change the conversation a little bit?
No,
because I want to be honest. I was about to say I want to really help the people. So, because I want people to understand before they get into this that some things that you did in your past could hurt you too. Because I just want to rip the Band-Aid off. Because if you are following other people or you hired a certain type of company that did some illegal activity, can they still do this method, or does that muck up the waters?
Well, yeah, it just depends on how far of the deep end that they, been, because I've never submitted anything to the FTC, right? I never submitted anything to the CFPB, right? So I've never filed fake police reports, right? So I've never did anything of that nature. So it depends on how far the consumer has went. So let me say that, right? But on the other end, if it's genuine, I want that type of information, right? Because you told the debt collector, hey, this is my dad's information. You told them this is not my information, and you did what you knew how to do at that time, right? So with that being said, I it just depends on case to case, right? So if you're somebody who racked up a lot of credit cards and then you're submitting false information, right? I don't want to deal with people like that.
All right, bet. Hey, I just want to let y'all know, man. Hey, look, we can't walk on water, but we can get rid of some debt. So if you were chasing your dream and then you went to a reputable credit repair company, this could work for you, right?
Yes, sir.
But if you went to the wrong people who are going to jail for doing stuff, you might not be able to help.
Yeah, don't contact me.
How about that? All right, go ahead, David.
So what if somebody is trying to do it by themselves? What advice would you give them?
To follow the steps that we currently went over. Follow them steps, follow them exact steps, and I'm on the other side willing to hold your hand.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that's fire. Cause man, I can recall myself hiring a mentor and I'm like, hey bro, I need help. And he's like, yeah, just do this. And then they're like, won't pick up the phone no more. So I think having help is that differentiates you. It's the difference between you and them. Because when I saw your shirt, I was like, damn, Sue debt collectors? Like, why everybody ain't doing this?
Yeah.
So
I guess that knowledge, I guess.
Yeah, I was about to say, I guess that's when it comes to, hey, bro, you've been doing this before social media was really popping for real.
Yeah, so I've been saying the same type of content when there was a social media outlet called Black Planet, and then the people went to MySpace, and then the people went to Facebook, and then the people went to Instagram, then the people went to Twitter. Now we have TikTok, and we have Threads, and we have all this social media outlet type stuff. Yeah.
Bro, that's probably why you so like OP with this, because I guess you're taking a simple concept, but you've been through the ringer. Like, I can't even remember what I was doing in 2004.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, if you've been doing that, like, bro, this is literally like, if you had to have like a college degree and what you doing, like, you'll be like double, triple doctorate right now.
So yeah, so that's why I want to get on you guys' platform, right? Because so it's the adult population in America is over 258 million, right? So if we taking the numbers from the FTC saying that 79% of the credit reports are wrong, so we're still talking over 204 million people, right? So I invite your audience to do this number, right? So you take the American population, adult population of 250 million plus people, and divide it into the amount of lawsuits that was filed in the year 2020. You take that in the year of 2000, in 23, no, in the year of 2022,
Yeah.
only 1,400 lawsuits was filed. So only 1,470 lawsuits was filed. So if you do that math, it's like 0.000005, right? So if I was to ask you, Mike and Dave, I say, hey, look, we're going to rob this bank. And it's a 0.000005 chance we get caught. Would you take them chances?
I can't say on here. And
Well,
that's crazy. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, if you was to ask me that, I would take that chance every second of the day, right? So that's what debt collectors are doing. If you look at that, so the amount of people that they're contacting versus the amount of people just saying, "Hey, I'm violated." So I would take them chances any day.
Dude, okay, hold on. So now I'm not as smart as you. Well, I ain't gonna say that, but you was doing this for so long that you know this thing like no other, right? What I'm hearing is this industry is like the Dogecoin of like credit repair. So
Yeah.
like though 0.0000% chance that somebody's being violated or whatever, like you can help people with that. So I'm in my head, I'm like, why don't people?
No, them are the numbers. If you had to take a percentage, right?
Okay.
So them are that's the percentage 0.00005, right? Of them getting caught / contacting consumers. It's 200. It's 258 million adults in America. Hold on. Now hold on. It was only 1,470 lawsuits filed in the year 22. Numbers. So if you do them numbers, the numbers is crazy. It's crazy. So so we need to be like, again, that's why I wanted to be on you guys' channel so we can get the awareness up. So think about it, if we had it just a 1%. So yeah, so if we had it like a 1%, man, I'll be super happy,
Hey, people would be super paid too, because if that's the case,
the economy will look a little bit different.
Dang, yeah, bro, I wouldn't have to beg nobody for Christmas or nothing, bro. It's like,
how you broke it down is like, all right, 0.00005.
Yeah, I mean, do the math. Let's do the math right now, Dave.
Come on, let me try to do this math. I might need some assistance though.
Yeah, this is 248 million.
258 million.
258 million.
Oh, you got it.
All right.
Divided by 1,470. Because that's how many lawsuits was filed under.
Hey man, you can't do this by yourself, bro.
200 what? 58 million?
58 million.
Yeah. Woo. I don't know if I can see that, but 0.00005 0.00056.
Navy Federal got trillions of dollars, right? But it's a 0.00005 chance you get caught. Like, you're going to take them chances. Well, let me tell you like this. Right? Where I'm from, we have people taking penitentiary chances for $5 of crack rock, right? So, and them chances is higher than them chances. So it's ultimately like a no-brainer for me, at least, right?
Yeah, it sounds like a no-brainer because the awareness ain't even out there like that.
Yeah, so let's look at what one company did, right? So Midland Credit Management, on a yearly basis, they are suing up north of 750,000 complaints, right? So 750,000 lawsuits, right? So they generate on a yearly basis over $1 billion.
Wow. So out of that, man, that ain't even.
Out of that $1 billion, they probably violated all those consumers.
All of them. All
That
of
boy,
them.
oh my God. So $1 billion of money could have been saved if people just understood the FDCPA.
Well, I think more than that would have been made because if you just take that statutory, percentage and just say if it was $1,000, you do $1,000 times however many times they sued, which is 750,000, right? So it'd be way north over $1 billion.
Man, so my head is like spinning because when I went to buy my house, my first house, it was a lot of people that work with me that couldn't get the house because of collections.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, dang. So all they had to do was probably reach out to somebody like you or understand the FDCPA to understand, like, hey, these people shouldn't. Actually, in the military, right, we got this thing that we got to read off of, this sheet, and they specifically got this thing for debt collectors because debt collectors used to call our job. So in the military, like, you got to do what they call stand watch. So you wait there in front of a phone and then you make sure everybody, again, you check people badges and stuff. But specifically, they had a thing for debt collectors. If a debt collector call, we supposed to follow this protocol and gather information.
Well, can you tell me a little bit about the script?
I don't remember exactly. I know we got to get the person's name, and then we got to get the person who called, and then inquire about the person they're talking about, and then we have to figure out what type of chain of command they in or something like that. It's as simple as that, but that sounds like it's illegal to me.
Yeah, well, if what you're saying, describing to me is that, right? Every time that's a violation. They're not supposed to give out that type of information or, be requesting that type of information under the FDCPA.
Ooh. Yeah, it seems like we need to take this to the military installation, Dave.
Yeah, because every time I was on watch and they call, they were like, "Yo, I need to speak to such and such person." They're not supposed to.
Specifically, they even say we contacting them about this debt or something like that. And I know that is crazy.
Yeah, I would
everybody in business.
I would like to review them calls.
Dang. Yeah. I see those calls all the time. Because it's debt.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, so instance like that, right? That's what I want to bring to the light, right? Because it's like you said, the military is super huge, right? A lot of people, and the average person goes through this, right? So it's like I say, every 4 and 5 person will owe or has owed mailing credit. So it's happening a lot of times in the day, is what I'm saying. So so you got to understand, these companies got people beating down the door of consumers, calling them constantly, texting constantly, emailing constantly. And let's bring that to the light that the consumer has rights and there's someone in their corner to turn to.
That's, I just did the calculation on what you just said, because 4 out of 5 is 80%.
Yes.
80% of 258 million is 206 million people are being violated every single day.
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. I was going to try to save this for another conversation, but I said it already. I don't think you can handle this by yourself. Do you teach other people how to do this? Like, not just the average consumer. Let's say a credit repair specialist or a wannabe, somebody who wants to be a credit repair specialist or help their community. Do you teach something like this?
Yes, sir. So every week I do a presentation, right? And I give people what it is, and I offer them to come into the community to monetize their knowledge.
Okay, dang,
that's fire.
Yeah, bro. Like when I hear these numbers, man, to be honest, man, it sounds unreal, but I just know it to be true because that's partly why people can't get right, because you really don't want people to know what's going on in your house because of the
stigma, right?
Yeah.
The culture, right? So the oppressor, right? And so once again, man, that's why, I accepted the invitation on being on you guys' channel so we can get the awareness up. And
Facts, because I think Dave, besides my wife, is the only person who know how much money is in my bank account. Not even my parents. You know what I'm saying? My brothers and my sisters. Because I already know, like, doing credit, I know what your credit report look like probably, but I don't know what your financial situation look like, and I don't know when you ducking and dodging collections. So I think that's why, like, you being on here is very important because to understand
Getting
that.
violated every single. Probably somebody getting violated right now. Somebody text them, email them, call them. There's something crazy.
It was like 5 steps. I'm like, yo, hold on. So 5 steps, and then what you said was, after you do these steps, this is the number of ways they can violate you. And it sounds like they're gonna just do it every time.
Every time. I believe nobody's holding them accountable fully.
Yeah.
Hey, that's trying, boy.
Nobody really holding them accountable. That's why they get away with murder down there.
That's why they're taking that 0.000005.
That's say they robbing the bank.
Yes.
They robbing the bank every day.
But they're robbing the consumer's bank.
Hey, that's crazy. Why you ain't viral yet? What do you think?
I just don't have that, viral appeal. I shoot it straight, right? If I wasn't on you guys' YouTube channel, you'll hear a lot of swearing words, right? So that shines off people. So, but I'm not here to be very much liked, right? So I'm here to help consumers that's been violated, and to just to bring the awareness up.
You know what's crazy? Like, you ain't even gotta be viral for real. You just need one person that is normal, and they're gonna have like 3-4 collections, and then you just go, hey man, let me help you out.
Yeah.
Either I could do it for you, or you could do it for yourself. The price tag will be different, but you'll still get the result. At the end of the day, you just want to be collection free, I guess.
That's it. Oh, I think, and then this is the thing. Like, one thing about you guys' channels that's super unique. It's a lot of credit repair people, right? If the people just hone in on what I'm telling them to do, their financial goals will be met every single day, every single month, every single week, things of that nature, because they're advertising for this type of information, right? So they're saying credit repair, right? Like, I'm a credit repair specialist. I help people, whatever, on a credit report, right? They're advertising for that. So when you see that information, hone in on that and monetize off of that. So once you start monetizing off of it, now your financial goals is met, right? It's going to take a little bit of time to get adapted to it, to see how it all works, because the person just hasn't seen it work for them. And so usually, when it works for the people once, and then now they can go out and duplicate it and continue to make a great living off of it.
And this is where you're specifically talking about people getting paid for collections, right?
Yes,
either
sir.
starting a business or just doing it for family. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, hold on. So if you got like a Christmas club or whatever, right? Or maybe a Thanksgiving, somebody can just pull up a Credit Karma and go to the collections portion, and they can pretty much in their head like, okay, well, I'm gonna settle this case anyway, but I'm gonna follow Vance's steps. I'm gonna pay the $402, and then I'm gonna get the conversation going, and I can really change my whole family's trajectory from one day of Thanksgiving work.
Yes. Usually, when I was going over how to record a call and, say about the last date of activity, things of that nature, usually them calls is under 3 minutes. All right. So calls on 3 minutes. You spotted the violation, and like I say, typically the consumer receives $100 to $1,000. So that's the most expensive work the consumer can do, right? Because now the debt is deleted, right? The debt has been forgiven, right? Your score goes up, right? So say for example, right, it's the holidays, right? And now you can go apply for that credit card. A lot of people is going to be taking, a lot of people is going to be shopping, and these companies is going to be offering you credit cards. Hey, listen, if you sign up for a credit card today, we'll save you 30% on your purchase, right? So the intangible value is there when them debt collectors get off your credit report, and so things like that. So you can just save a lot of money.
Yeah, okay. Because what I was thinking in my head, I'm like, it ain't even about the $1,000 per violation. It's about the deletion after you catch the violation. So everybody, because in my family, everybody got a job. Everybody been employed for 2 years. Anybody can get a house. They just can't because they got a collection.
Yes.
Man.
And so that's when I can step in and say, hey, here's an opportunity for you to get that information removed and maybe monetize.
I ain't care about the monetization. Once the bigger play on that, it's like, hey man, it's a lot. Hold on, go ahead, Dave.